Mike is live. We're live too. Well, we'll let people trickle in, but just to give a little bit of background, my name is Jake, and I'm the head of artist community here at Songfinch. Musician, arranger, performer, all-around stud, Mike The Chaplain, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
It's nice to meet you in person, man. It's so funny because in Songfinch land, we listen to all the songs, you know what I mean? So it's like you feel like you get to know someone so well, and then you don't even
Man, the pleasure's all mine. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Tell me about Songfinch a little bit. How's your experience been with Songfinch so far?
Songfinch, honestly, is amazing. Super amazing. It gives us the opportunity to grow. It gives us the opportunity to network, to build, and to, one of the most favorite things that I love about, Songfinch is that you guys critique, you give great feedback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To help us to be better at what we do. And I think that's so imperative to be around a community of people that wants to bring out the best in each artist.
Yeah. At the risk of gushing, there's no chance you can write and mix 200 songs and not get better at the craft.
That's a fact.
In some capacity.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Have you seen yourself improve a little bit on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe just being able to look at my sequencer and just being able to look at some of my plugins that I'll use and be able to dial it back in certain frequencies. And, it allows me to get the best out of the product.
Yeah.
And, you want to make sure that the customer, the client, is pleased.
How'd you get involved with Songfinch in the first place? How'd you get involved with this?
Well, first of all, my wife put me on. Shout out to Latoya J. She put me on to the opportunity, and I read up on you guys, YouTubed you guys, and it was like, let me see what's going on here, man. And it came at the perfect opportunity, the perfect time.
Yeah.
And of course we was going through a pandemic shift. Yeah. And I mean, this was historic. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe that this was a God-given call on you guys to be able to bring this about, to be able to be influential in the lives of many artists.
Yeah. Talk to me about music in general with you. How'd you cut your teeth? I know faith-based, maybe some church early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like how'd you get involved with music in the first place? Early on.
Early on. Well, first of all, I was born literally. So no cap. I was born and raised in church. My father was a preacher. My mother was a choir director over the young adults choir. My grandmother was a senior citizens choir. That was hilarious. But my mom would sing all throughout the house. And she, of course, with her being a great director, she's the type of person that would be like, listen, I love you, son, but you gotta hit that note.
Yeah.
That note right. Mom was going like, listen, this ain't gonna work. But then, of course, there were people that were placed in my life because my mom led me to other pastors that were in the music industry. Shout out to Bishop Michelle White Haynes, who definitely, she died in the pandemic. But she raised me, and shout out to her son, Stephen White, who put me on, gave me the opportunity to write for other major artists in the gospel arena. So my teeth literally really was sent into music because of their leadership, and of course, music was their passion as well.
Right.
And they showed me the ropes of what it meant to impact people's lives. They were like, listen, if you're going to make an impact in people's life, be authentic. Be who you are. Don't hide behind anything. Even your flaws can be used as an opportunity to be a blessing to someone else. You know what I'm saying? So being able to be authentic, true to who you are.
Well, it shows. It makes perfect sense that you came up with a musical boot camp, for lack of a better term. But for real, you're like a polished professional. A lot of people have to figure it out as they go and be like, dang, how do I even crack the code? How do you even write a song? Like, if you're not familiar with that skill set, it's a daunting task to grab that out of the blue. What would you describe your original music as? Is it R&B? Is it gospel? Is it soul? Like, when would you?
Honestly, the reality of it all is there is soul in me. There is R&B in me. There is a lot of different things in me. But when I kind of narrowed down my music, I wanted to be more so world music.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? With the message that causes me to make an impact. And that's why I love you guys. Because you guys allow me to tap into people's home.
Yeah.
Their heart, their issues, their struggles, their desires, their first kiss, their first marriage. Like, this was crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's a peak, and then it always reminds me too that we're all different, but we're all very similar. Because the briefs are always going to be about whatever's going on, but there's reoccurring themes of whether it's love or heartache or whatever. You know what I mean? You got some work coming up, right? Album is coming out soon.
Yes.
Called Home.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Home.
Well, Home, man, the product, first of all, guys, it comes out this month on the 23rd. 23rd. And one thing I love about Home, it really comes from an authentic place, man. Once again, it's something about when you go through life with experiences and you say, you know what, I'm gonna take the mask off and I wanna really help people. And I have children, I have 3 daughters. So one thing I've taught them is that if you be who you are, you'll never have to worry about you not being authentic. You know what I'm saying? And this body of work really allows me to relate to the world in ways that I haven't, because I've been able to tap into certain parts of my life, of my walk.
You know what's cool about Home for me too? It's obviously, it's rooted in like faith, for lack of a better term, right? There's a huge undertone. It's probably not even an undertone, just a tone of faith and all of that. But Mike the Chaplain's not just a stage name. You're a pastor. You are a chaplain, correct? And that's something that developed somewhat recently. Tell me about that.
So, guys, I literally had got my chaplaincy in the midst of the pandemic. So, while I was doing my courses, basically, chaplaincy is really all about bringing Christ into crisis. So, it's not about preaching. It's about bringing the characteristic to where the pain is in the world. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think that was even something that I was going to really change my whole, and it felt like a glove, man. The purpose really matched with where I was in my life and just looking at the world and what it is. And I just said, listen, I just want to be a type of medicine.
That's dope. I love it. And then you have a doctorate too? What do you do? Well, how are you writing the songs if you're going to get your pastoral, I don't even know the proper way to say it, pastoral degree and a doctorate? What are you doing here? When did you cut the album, sir?
But you know how we do it as creators, man. It really never stops, man.
The new joint, when's it dropping again? Shameless plug?
It's the 23rd of August.
The 23rd of August. Man, what can we expect from the album? I don't want to give away too much.
I mean, first of all, I believe that what people can expect from the album is to be uplifted. And I love Brave, I love Home, I love Come See Me. There is a lot of hope that you can receive from this album. And I just believe that you could take this body of work and just play it in your home and create an atmosphere to set the right tone for your future.
That's dope. I dig it so much. I can't wait for it just to be out and ready to roll. And then let me send more flowers at your feet here. The sync placement game. So for layman's terms, getting your music in TV, commercials, movies, things like that. Tell me about that. How the heck did this come about? Tell me about the sync experience.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, like the last past 4 years before the pandemic, God has placed, some people around me that has, and shout out to Lynette Series, shout out to Ken Hampton. These are people and individuals in my life that have always pushed me to come outside my box. You know what I'm saying? So I got the opportunity to perform at the after show of one of the after parties of VH1.
Nice.
Right? Then I met an amazing engineer. And shout out to you. I don't know if you guys know, but Reverb Nation, that was a thing of the past kind of situation. I was able to do placement with Never Heard with David Banner, Romeo, Master P.
I was gonna say P was on there. There was
crazy
other artists.
That was a whole type. I felt like I was in a dream. As that was happening. And then of course I did this movie called Supermodel with Tyson Beckford and Robin Givens. Another movie with Brian White. You know what I'm saying? And you get a little, when you get one foot in the door, then there's other opportunities to act and you do a little stuff like that, man. So
success begets success. Right?
Yes, sir.
Like you got to work really, really hard to get one little foot in the door, and after that, maybe you can wedge a second one in. So let's shamelessly plug the social medias. Where can we find you at?
Definitely, you can find me on MikeTheChaplain.com. You can Google Mike the Chaplain, aka Mike Flowers, with a Z. Facebook, Mike Flowers or Mike the Chaplain. You could do that. Twitter, Mike the Chaplain. And of course, IG Mike The Chaplain.
And sir,
Songfinch.
Songfinch.com/Mike The
Please
Chaplain.
customize your song today. Come right on over.
No, for real though, one of the reasons I love doing this so much, especially live, is because I feel like for real, like the customer, whatever, the listener, the clients, the enjoyers of the music, like after seeing you and hearing about you and your story, like I would be inclined to be like, I want to get a song from that. So you can do that on songfinch.com. So nice to link with you. I really appreciate the time. Oh yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike The Chaplain.